Hello everyone, and welcome to this second video here on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at my narrow gauge layout that I just built. I took down the standard gauge one and felt it was time to build a narrow gauge. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start on the left side of the layout and then move over to the right, just like we did with our standard gauge one. So we're going to start at the only station here on the layout, where we have old style Reneus and then Scarloey. Reneus has got my two gray troublesome trucks. This is the station building I'm using for the station, and then the pedestrian bridge as well. So I think it turned out pretty well. You're pretty limited with what you can use on a narrow gauge layout destination wise in terms of stations, because I can't use Ellsbridge, I can't use Wellsworth, obviously can't use Knapford. So this is going to be the station of this narrow gauge layout. Over here we have a siding with the fire train, some trees. Then we have the hospital, the station master right there. We have the workmen that came with the pedestrian bridge. This hospital came with the Sodor rescue team set with Thomas and James. Here's the ambulance. It's kind of one big loop. Same with this as well. I kind of like how it turned out, two loops off the side of the station. To the left, we have the old style windmill, and then Terrence. And I put Terrence on this layout because he's also seen a narrow gauge episode in season 6 where Duncan loses his whistle. So that's why I put Terrence there. Then at the railway crossing, we have Bertram with his two scrap cars. Crossing sign. Bertram's interesting because he has a tender in the TV show, but Learning Curve releases him without a tender and has a tank engine. Definitely interesting, but it is Bertram nonetheless. So that covers the station area. I'll give you a good shot of that. I think it turned out pretty well. We come to a signal and we come to the fire station, which is why I put that siding over there so like the hospital and the fire station could use it. Or the station could, I guess, but we have the fire train there right now. Give you a shot of the fire station. Coming through the fire station, we have Duke. He's pulling my Solar Tarn fuel tankers, and then the fuel tanker that came with the rescue team set, and my Soda Line caboose. Here's Harold. Now we're going to come to the sheds of the layout, where we have my two special engine sheds, my brown turntable, and then I put 3 sidings here for the narrow gauge engines. So there's plenty of space for the engines when they're not working. Looks like Lorry 1 has crashed onto the track and toppled over his cargo. Typical lorries. Then we have Sir Topham Hatt, probably scolding Duncan about something. He's gonna cut him down to size. I definitely think this brown turntable is the best turntable in the one railway line, just because it doesn't have all those awkward angles that the Titmus Sheds turntable has. And I guess you could use it alone, so I guess it doesn't really make a difference, but I feel like this one's better used on its own compared to the other one. That's just me though. Off to the side here we have the yard of the narrow gauge layout. I had space to fill and I also had a bunch of extra switches, so I made a small yard. We have a building though with a signal and a one-way sign. Here we have my white roof Rusty. I definitely want to get the white roof Rusty with a smaller front, but that one is hard to find on eBay in good condition for cheap too, so I went with this one. We have my troublesome brake van, the breakdown train in case any engines need to be rescued, then my last gray troublesome truck sitting in a siding back there. So that's what we've covered so far. Now we're going to go to the Blue Mountain Quarry. This line goes through back to the sheds underneath. We have Merrick up top. I got this set that comes with Thomas and Luke. And by the way, I didn't even put Luke on this layout. I could have, I guess, because this layout could have used some more engines here and there. But I could have put Luke on this layout, but I honestly didn't bother because I despise that character. But anyway, I got that set at a day out with Thomas in Green Bay. So it was ended up being a really good purchase because now I was able to have a Blue Mountain Quarry on my layout. So we have Merrick there. Here we have Butch. He's at the Quarry today. And we have the Sodor Rock Crusher for the Quarry. Come to a T-switch and a signal box. Here we have Peter Sam with the Rock Cargo, and then the Giggling Troublesome Trucks, the new style ones. And we have a Workman. These are the two sidings for the Quarry. I think it turned out pretty well. And something about Peter Sam, and then we have Sir Andal over here. These two are definitely, in my opinion, the best narrow gauge engines that Learning Curve has released. Just because of their proportions and their faces. I just think that they're definitely the best models of the narrow gauge fleet. Especially Peter Sam's funnel, they just got it spot on. So I'm definitely glad I have these guys in my collection. But over here we have Sir Handel arguing with George about something, for sure. We have those two over there. This line just goes back up to Merrick. And then in the back of the layout we have the viaduct, and I used this Tidmouth covered bridge once again, which I guess doesn't belong in a narrow gauge layout, but technically it's not labeled, and it looks pretty good as a viaduct, so I decided to throw it in the layout. I could have used a Sodor Bay Bridge as well, but I kind of like having an open viaduct, so that's why I chose this design. I think it looks pretty good too with the clickety-clack track. Then below the viaduct we have the grist mill and an apple tree, and then that just loops back down to where Bertram is. So I think that is all of the layout. If I missed anything, you can maybe see it in this overshot here. This layout was a lot of fun to build. Honestly, was wishing the entire time that Learning Curve had made more destinations for like the narrow gauge layout somehow. You know, maybe they made like a top station or something for the engines. You know, and I could have included a standard gauge line here, but I kind of wanted to devote all the resources and track to the narrow gauge engines so I could give them a proper layout, because I've never done it before. So I think it turned out pretty well. I'm glad I did it. And I'll definitely be keeping this layout up for a bit before I do my collection video, which I'm pretty sure will be the next video up. So you guys can look forward to that sometime in the near future. But I want to thank you guys for watching this layout video. I hope you enjoyed the layout, and I'll see you guys in the next video.